of the owl and the mouse. Owl's one of my favorite animals flying around in the desert. I think they're just majestic and beautiful. They are a predator of the mouse, which not so majestic. And their primary food source is the mesquite bean, which comes from our mesquite tree. We happen to be chopping these down as we build our homes. So when I did some research, I found out that Phoenix is growing second in the nation behind Houston, Texas. We are growing into our deserts at a huge rate and really wanted to build something to see what that means to our desert ecosystem. You could replace this ecosystem with lots of different animals and be replacing and looking at the effects of our urban sprawl. Here's a picture of my code, and you can see here I have the owl, mouse, mesquite tree, and houses. Always like to have a graph as well to be able to picture visually really quickly what exactly is going on over time. When I built this code, the hardest part to me was the house and trying to figure out how to systematically get the houses to build, not based on another agent, because our houses aren't reproducing based on something else running into it. My first thought was a timer and could not find anything like a timer. I thought about a manual push button, and I had a push button in there for a while, but my finger wasn't quite as accurate as I wanted to be. So after great thought and deliberation, I came up with a trait called time passing. And time passing would then, based on however much time I allotted, call the procedure build a new house. I needed to make sure that I also set that time passing to 0, so each house was starting with a 0 time passing and all starting to build new houses at the same time. Going through this, my favorite agent is the owl. It is quite complex, lots of different layers to this agent. And my favorite one is actually the chase, that the owl is chasing the mouse as it comes within 10 steps of the owl. In turn, if you look at the mouse code, it is running away from any owl that happens to be chasing it. And also, I had the owl be deleted if it came in contact with a house because there would be nowhere for it to live there. So I figured that is another aspect of our urban sprawl. And of course, if they do collide with a mouse, they're going to get some extra energy. Let's take a look at this code in action. Right now, I believe that I have my houses set to build every 20 ticks. Let's take a look. Yes, every 20 ticks. And all right, so here we are. We started with one house, one owl, and I believe it was 20 mice. And you'll see that the owl is chasing down those mice as we start to see the houses increase. Our owls are starting to reproduce. Problem is the mesquite beans are having less places that they can reproduce. Typically what I've been noticing is that we run out of mesquite beans, our mice go extinct, and then so do the owls. Well, right now we still have some mice out there, that's good. Our owls are gone. So over time, unfortunately, urban sprawl takes place and our ecosystem is destroyed by little colorful houses. Some faults in this model are eventually they all go extinct. I do feel that it is somewhat of an unbalanced system. I have tried lots of different energy levels with and without the houses and feel that it's hard to get a good balanced ecosystem. And my houses are multiplying exponentially, which really they are out here in the desert as well. You could add some more predators in for the owl. The mice also would adapt and start eating other foods. But on the simplest level, this was the best way for me to look at urban sprawl. When I collect my data, I like both pictures of my graphs and then the concrete data where I'll analyze the mean, median, and mode and look at the different amounts of times it takes for the animals to go extinct. But when I want to go back and look, I always like to have those pictures in with my data as well. So in a nutshell, this model is showing the median growth in 3 different models. I typically, when I run any test, like to look at 3 trials of 3 different variables. Not different variables, but a different number of the variables. So in this instance, I looked at different amounts of time that the houses were being built. I found that the mice usually are going extinct first, and in the long run, urban sprawl will destroy the ecosystem of the owl and the mouse. The quicker the houses are being built, the faster the destruction is happening. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.